Shalom. I'd like to say all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. And shalom to you brothers out there. I'm going to start by reading the title. Hunt. Hunt is Jeremy Hunt, the State Secretary for the UK, State Secretary of Healthcare for the United Kingdom. So it says, Hunt. Ebola could hit us by Christmas. Screening for Ebola will begin at Heathrow Airport today. Today being the 14th of the 10th, 2014. Okay. Screening for Ebola will begin at Heathrow Airport today, as the Health Secretary warned the deadly virus could arrive in Britain by Christmas. Which you and I both know that the virus is worldwide already because they have it in the laboratories and they've probably released it, as the incubation period takes about 3 weeks, 21 days. More than enough time for people to be walking around with the Ebola unknowingly. Reading on. It says, as the Health Secretary warned the deadly disease could arrive in Britain by Christmas, Jeremy Hunt said checks would begin at Terminal 1 before being introduced at Gatwick and Eurostar terminal by the end of next week. So it's only being introduced to one terminal within Heathrow Airport before being introduced at Gatwick Airport, a different airport, and Eurostar terminals at the end of next week. So they're planning to expand it. That expansion obviously lets you know that they're allowing plenty of time for the Ebola, let's call it the Ebola effect, to be unleashed, which would bring about a pandemic, mass panic from the people, and more succumbing to the government's powers. So reading on. He told the Commons I believe is the House of Commons, there will be a handful of cases hitting these shores in the next 3 months, although he refused to give an exact number. That is an iron line. That being said, shows you that he is more than aware of the number of people that are tallied to be hit within the United Kingdom, but he downplayed it and just said, yeah, a handful of people. Handful's gonna be the size of Godzilla, man. not no small baby handful, man. But he said he was sure it would not reach double figures. Now, how was he sure? What was his surety? I don't know. Probably a vaccine. Well, you know that a vaccine is just gonna spread it even more. Okay, so reading on, it says, but he was sure that it would not reach double figures, adding, I do believe we are among the best and most prepared countries in the world, which is a very big lie. Let's take a look at the NHS healthcare system. 1 point, they have the most dirtiest hospitals. They say that 710,000. Let me just say 750,000 750,000 to round it up. Cases happen every year because of the dirty states of the hospitals, where they see cockroaches, mice and rats, all kinds of rodents and pests within those hospitals. So the likelihood of a sanitized and quarantinable area for people with Ebola to stop it spreading is a big farce. That's hard to believe. And it says, point number 2. Currently, the NHS is undergoing privatization by way of companies like Care UK, Virgin. They're slowly being taken over different sectors of the NHS, which brings me to another point, which I'll get into in a second. But I'd like to say the third point first. The third point is also they're saying that 400,000 NHS workers are going to be striking very soon. I saw that on the news today. I don't know when. I think they were striking today. But you know they're striking. So if they're striking over a lack of pay, I'm sure they're going to be striking over poor conditions, a lack of hazmat suits for the for the workers that are dealing with Ebola patients. So it ain't going to run smoothly. It's going to be a panic. It's going to be a lot of a melee, if you would, man. That's what it's going to be. So going back to the second point being money. Privatization of the NHS, that would lead to, as you know, the stocks for the pharmaceuticals is going up due to the unleash of Ebola. So you know that these private companies like Care UK and Virgin are going to cash in on the selling of the vaccine. So reading on, it says screening involving temperature checks and a questionnaire. So their screening tactics is going to involve a temperature check, which they've already showed you that those don't work. They're completely useless. They're a waste of time. Furthermore, it says a questionnaire. Are you fucking serious? A questionnaire. It doesn't take a lot for a person to lie, especially if they know they've got Ebola and the only way is for a cure is for them getting into the country. All they gotta do is try take out their handkerchief, wipe off the sweat from their forehead, and try to downplay their cough, man. Just say they're choking or something, man. Get creative. It won't be too hard. So that isn't a foolproof method of preparing for being one of the most prepared countries in the world for Ebola outbreak. So reading on, it says, fucking hell, these people, man. It just shows you how, if you read this and you feel comforted by reading this, then you really are an idiot. That's what you are. Um, Screening involving temperature checks and a questionnaire will focus on passengers coming from Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea. Furthermore, all I have to do is get a plane. Look, Liberia. A lot of Liberians are in Ghana. All they gotta do is go Ghana, go Togo, go Ivory Coast, go into the neighboring Senegal. Senegal's neighboring to Guinea. Going into the neighboring countries and get a flight from there to avoid screening. So they won't even have to downplay having Ebola, where more than 4,000 people have died. I'm sure the number's higher than that, but 4,000 that's a lot of people, with cases being from as far back as March, predominantly being in Sierra Leone. Okay, so it said it should cover 89% of people travelling from the affected region, Mr. Hunt explained. So it said 89, it didn't say 100%, it's 89. So that, again, is not foolproof. They're relying for this thing to overflow, and they're going to tell you why. This will allow potential Ebola virus carriers arriving in the UK to be identified, tracked, and given rapid access to expert health advice should they develop symptoms. That doesn't sound like a common person's form of healthcare. That sounds like a monetary gain, like it will cost something. Again, I'll read it. This will allow potential Ebola virus carriers arriving in the UK to be identified. Radio frequency identification. Yeah? That's what that will lead to indefinitely. It might implement bullshit other methods for identifying people, but the best, the most the most reliable source of identification would be the radio frequency identification chips, which they are planning to implement, the mark of the beast, 666. Okay, so it says identified. Now when you go into the word charagma, which you find in the word in Revelations 13:6 for the word in English mark, the Greek word is charagma. When you go to, which means mark thing, put inside you, stamped, inserted. And when you go to the root word of that is charux, which means it goes back to like to a stake, you know, something inserted as well. Then you go to the root of that is grapho, which means writing. That's where you get the word graffiti. When you see someone tagged with graffiti, they write. Grapho, that's where you get calligraphy as well. Calligraphy, I'm not sure what cal means, but I know graphy is basically drawing. A graph goes back to writing. That's what it is. They're gonna write all your details, your specifications of your persona, as in your name, your first name, your last name, your age, date of birth, your home where you live. All forms of your identification will be displayed inside of the RFID chip. They already have one on a passport, so why not put one inside of you to stop what's this word I'm looking for, to refrain people from fraudulent play, for lack of a better word, you know. So that's to stop them from doing fraud, basically. Okay. So reading on it says identity tracked, like Nate said in the famous words of Nate saying, he said, "Where is my people get chipped to track their dogs? Where is my dog? I've lost my dog. I can't find him." Yeah, you're going. The elites look at all of us as dogs, so they want us tracked and chipped, so they can keep tabs on us, keep us under their manners completely, and given rapid access to expert health service should they develop symptoms. So they'll be tracked, and then be given that that afterwards will you be given a vaccine. But the vaccine basically is just a tiny amount of the disease, which is put inside you, injected into you, to basically ready your white blood cells against a full-blown Ebola going inside of your body. But more time, you're gonna die from that little bit being put inside you anyway, because 9 out of 10 for a disease is on point. You know what I mean? It's well engineered. So reading on, and that would obviously allow them to make economical gain, because then they could say, look, okay, we've got the vaccine, and they've already said it worked on various people, so they could say, we've got the vaccine and we're trying to think of the best way to give it out. They can make big money on that, man. Big what, you know. Reading on it says, but he warned the situation will get worse before it gets better. So there's plenty of room. 8 months, basically 8 months is the period of flu season from October to May. So that's a lot of time, man. You know, 8 months for them to play. A lot of people can die. So going on to this little footnote in the same article, you can see it's within the same realms of this article, and it latches on to the 4,000 people that were addressed earlier on in the article. More than 4,000 people have died. Let's go to Brown's theory blasted. Chris Brown was mocked on Twitter after claiming the Ebola virus is a form of population control, which it is. It is definitely a form of population control. It's going back to the Georgia Guidestones. There was an extra stone added which said 2014. Currently, in the month of October, which is the most propitious year for the illuminated ones to implement any form of any plan they have. So this is a time where they will prosper if they try and do anything. Satan's with them within this month of October. So if they get the ball rolling, Satan's definitely going to keep it going. Yeah, so it says, so that will definitely get in play, which was on one of the first things on Georgia Guidestones, to maintain humanity in continual balance by having it like 500 million, which basically is you have around about 7 billion people on the earth today, so they're trying to cut 6.5 billion people off the earth and have enough room for their elect and all their slaves. Yeah. So reading on, it says the singer 257, 2 add 5 is 7, was told to go to bed by fans after sharing his conspiracy theory after being mocked. Going back to his singer age 25, also 2014 adds up to 7, and they deal with numerology heavy. Yeah. So it says the singer 25 was told to go to bed by fans after sharing his conspiracy theory. They tried to belittle his truth, which he has. He's a lesser luminary. So what he's doing is he's dropping a gem on the people, but they're not ready for it. And he's a good medium to use as well, because any actor they use, they've done dissolve Chris Brown's career already, man. Make him look like a woman beater, a nigga that just loves Joe and likes to get into fights. So coming out of his mouth, no one ain't gonna latch onto it. But you can see where it's coming from. Coupled with this article, Ebola could hit us by Christmas. You know what it's about, okay? After being mocked, before his comment on the virus, which has killed, even they say, which has killed 4,000 people, he wrote, "Let me shut my black ass up." So basically, right there, they're showing you they're going to use it for population control. But you people out there that are not in the know, that are not part of the illuminated ones on the right or left hand side, won't know until it comes. Okay, with that, that's a lesson. Let's say shalom to you brothers out there. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. And all praises to Yahweh Shem El Shai for watching.